Your sweet little rabbit just lunged at your hand or sank its teeth into your finger while you were only trying to top up the hay, and now you are sitting there feeling a bit hurt and a bit betrayed. You are wondering if you somehow ended up with a mean rabbit or if you did something terribly wrong. A biting rabbit is almost always a frightened, hormonal, sore, or misunderstood rabbit. And that is a very different and very fixable thing. I'm a rabbit owner, not a vet. Everything here is the stuff I pieced together across my own bunnies and a lot of late night questions in the Singapore rabbit groups. The same panic that comes up the first time a gentle pet suddenly grunts and snaps. This is not medical advice, it is one owner helping you decode what your rabbit is actually saying, because a bite is communication, not a character flaw, and your rabbit is not bad. Here is what we are going to walk through. Why rabbits bite and lunge in the first place, the 3 big reasons it happens, how to tell a small nip apart from genuine fearful aggression, how to react in the moments so you do not make things worse, the slow way you rebuild trust, and the line where biting stops being a behavior thing and becomes a reason to see a vet. Let us start with the why, because it changes everything. A rabbit is a prey animal all the way down. In the wild, almost everything wants to eat it, so its whole nervous system is built around 3 options when it feels threatened: run, freeze, or fight. Biting is just that third option. When a rabbit cannot run away and freezing has not made the scary thing leave, the teeth come out, it is not malice, it is a small animal that has decided this is its last line of defense. Once you really sit with that, biting stops feeling personal. Your rabbit is not plotting against you. It has run out of other options in that moment, and it is doing the one thing a cornered prey animal has left. Our job is not to punish that. It is to figure out why it felt cornered and to take the pressure off so it never has to get there. And a lot of biting we read as drama is really just a rabbit that has tried everything quieter first, and we did not notice. The foot thump, the body that turned away, the freeze, the little grunt, those were all earlier chapters of the same message, and the bite is only the loud last line because the soft ones did not work. So what are the actual causes? Broadly, there are 3, and they need completely different responses, which is exactly why guessing is a bad idea. The 3 are hormones, fear, and pain. Get the cause right, and the fix is usually straightforward. Get it wrong and you can spend months making a frightened rabbit more frightened, so it is worth slowing down to work out which one you are dealing with. Let us take hormones first, because this is the one that surprises new owners the most. A rabbit that was a cuddly baby can hit a kind of bunny teenage phase, often somewhere between 3 and 12 months old, and turn into a little whirlwind. You start seeing circling around your feet, mounting things, spraying urine around, and lunging at your hands when you come near their space. It can feel like your rabbit changed overnight, and in a hormonal sense, it kind of did. The important thing here is that this is not a discipline problem, and it is not something you train out with firmness. It is biology. The calming side of this is a spay or neuter conversation, and I want to be careful how I frame that. Spaying or neutering very often settles this hormonal behavior down over the weeks that follow. But whether it is right for your rabbit and the timing is a decision to make with a rabbit-savvy vet, not from a YouTube video. So if you have got an intact young rabbit suddenly behaving like this, that is the conversation to go and have. The second cause is fear, and this is the most common one I see in the groups. A fearful rabbit bites defensively, usually when it feels trapped or when it is being handled in a way it hates. The classic moment is reaching into the cage or trying to pick the rabbit up off the floor. To a prey animal, a big hand descending from above is a hawk, and being lifted is being carried off to be eaten. So it flinches, it freezes, and if you keep going, it bites to make the threat stop. This shows up a lot in young rabbits still finding their feet in a new home, and in rabbits that have had rough handling somewhere in their past. But honestly, any nervous rabbit can land here. It is not about the breed, and it is not about you being unlikable. It is simply a small animal that has not yet learned your hands are safe. Embrinkimt. The tell with fear biting is the context and the body language. It tends to happen during handling or in cornered situations, not out of the blue. You will often see the warning signs first if you know to look. The ears go flat, the body tenses and shrinks back, the rabbit freezes or tries to bolt, and there might be a low grunt. Those are all a rabbit shouting, "Please stop," in the only language it has. And the bite only comes when we miss all of those polite earlier signals. The third cause is the one I most want you to keep in the back of your mind, and that is pain. This is the rabbit that was friendly for ages and then suddenly starts biting or grunting when you touch it or when you go near a particular spot. When a previously gentle rabbit changes like that, fairly suddenly, pain is very often the reason. It can be sore teeth, a tummy that is hurting, achy joints in an older rabbit, an ear infection, or something with the waterworks. You cannot see most of that from the outside. So here is my firm line, and it is the one place I will not be casual. If a rabbit that was always gentle suddenly turns snappy, especially an adult or a senior, please treat that as a reason to see a rabbit-savvy vet, not a reason to start training. You do not reach for any home remedy, and I am not going to name any medicine or dose because that is genuinely the vet's job and getting it wrong is dangerous. A sudden personality change in a rabbit is a health flag first and the behavior puzzle second. This is exactly why I tell every owner to have a rabbit-savvy vet lined up before you ever need one. Not every clinic in Singapore is truly comfortable with rabbits, and the worst moment to be searching is when your bunny is hunched, quiet, and biting from pain. Find your vet first, save the number, and know roughly how you would get there in a hurry. It is one of those boring bits of admin that feels pointless right up until the day it is the only thing that matters. You can find rabbit-savvy clinics in the vet directory on our site, and I will point you back there at the end. Now let us separate a nip from real aggression because people lump these together and panic over the wrong one. A nip is small. It is a rabbit using its teeth lightly to say, "Move your hand, you are in my way," or "Hey, I want attention." It usually does not break skin, and it is often just communication, the bunny version of a tap on the shoulder. Plenty of perfectly happy, well-adjusted rabbits nip now and then, and it is not the same emergency as a fearful lunge. Real aggression is different in feel and in context. It comes with the fear or territorial body language, the flat ears, the grunting, the lunging from a distance, the bite that is meant to drive you away rather than nudge you. One is a small ongoing conversation, the other is a rabbit that genuinely feels under threat. Reading which one you are getting matters because a light nip needs a tweak in how you interact, while real aggression needs you to find and fix the underlying cause. Okay, so a rabbit bites you. What do you actually do in the moment? The honest answer is much less than your instinct wants. Do not yell, do not tap its nose, do not push it down, and do not do any of the dominant stuff you might have heard about. All of that just confirms to a prey animal that you are dangerous, and it makes the next bite more likely, not less. Roughness and punishment reliably make biting worse every single time. Instead, keep your reaction small and boring. You can make a soft high noise if it genuinely hurts, the way another rabbit might squeak, but keep your hand still and slow, and just calmly remove your hand from the situations. You are not rewarding the bite, you are simply refusing to become a bigger threat. Then you step back and ask the real question, which is what made my rabbit feel like it had to do that? Because the bite was the symptom, not the problem. Now the part that actually fixes things over time, which is rebuilding trust. This is slow, undramatic work, and it is mostly about you doing less and letting the rabbit choose more. You get down to their level, you sit on the floor, and you let the rabbit come to you instead of looming over it. You stop scooping it up off the ground unless you really have to, because nothing rebuilds fear faster than being grabbed from above. Food is your best friend here. Hand feed a favorite leafy green from your fingers and start from a distance the rabbit is comfortable with, even if that is across the room at first. Let them inch closer on their own clock. When you do start touch, let the rabbit initiate it and go for the head and forehead first, because that is where rabbits naturally groom each other. You are slowly teaching them that your hands only ever bring good and gentle things, and consistency beats intensity every time. Little and often is the rule. A calm 15 minutes every single day does far more for a nervous rabbit than one big 2-hour session at the weekend. You are aiming for a steady drip of safe, predictable, boring contact until the rabbit's whole model of you shifts from threat to friend. It can take weeks, sometimes months, for a really frightened rabbit, and that is completely normal. You are not failing, you are just going at rabbit speed. And try to keep these sessions calm and quiet, no looming over, no sudden grabs, no testing whether it will let you pick it up today. Every single calm session is a small deposit in the trust bank, and the only thing that empties that bank fast is going back to grabbing from above. So protect the progress by staying gentle even on the days you are tempted to rush it. Let me pull the whole thing into one decision path because that is what I wish someone had handed me. First, was it a light nip or a real defensive bite? If it is just a nip, adjust how you interact and do not stress. If it is real aggression, look at the cause. Is it an unneutered young rabbit acting territorial? Then that is a vet conversation about spaying or neutering. Is it fearful handling? Then it is trust rebuilding, slow and steady. And was it a sudden change in a gentle rabbit? Then it goes straight to the vet for a pain check before anything else. A couple of honest reassurances before we wrap. First, a biting phase is not a life sentence, and it does not mean you have a bad rabbit or that you are a bad owner. Hormonal biting settles, fear fades with patient trust work, and pain-related biting usually disappears once the vet sorts out whatever was hurting. I have watched grumpy, snappy little rabbits turn into the softest lap bunnies once the cause was found and the trust was rebuilt, so do not write off the relationship in a hard week. Second, the very fact that you are here trying to understand it, instead of just being angry at the rabbit, means you are already doing the most important part right. That shift from this rabbit is bad to what is my rabbit trying to tell me is genuinely most of the battle won. So to bring it all together, a bite is a message, not a betrayal. Figure out whether it is hormones, fear, or pain, because each one wants a different answer. Tell a casual nip apart from a fearful lunge. In the moment, stay calm and boring and never punish. Rebuild trust low to the ground, on their terms, little and often. And if a gentle rabbit turns suddenly snappy, let a rabbit-savvy vet rule out pain before you call it a behavior problem at all. If you found this useful, come over to singaporerabbit.com. We send out a free weekly digest for Singapore Rabbit owners, and you will find our directories there too, including the vet directory I mentioned, so you can line up a rabbit-savvy clinic before a stressful day ever arrives. It is all free, and it is all made for owners right here. And if you are enjoying this, the next video is on understanding rabbit body language, the full picture, so you can read the flat ears, the thumps and the grunts long before anyone ever gets bitten. So subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.